This video demonstrates the safe use of a handheld blender. These must be used under supervision due to the potential risk of accidents. Your school will probably have a few of these. Ensure that you are familiar with the blenders. Know how to assemble and disassemble them. Some have different attachments, such as a whisk or a small chopping bowl.
Plug in the blender and switch on at the socket. Keep your fingers away from the blades.
Pupils may need to share a handheld blender depending on how many are available. Pupils should never place their hand next to the blender blades as these are sharp.
Immerse the end of the blender into the soup before turning it on. This will prevent any splashes. Turn on the blender for short blasts and move around the saucepan to blend all the ingredients together.
If the saucepan is very heavy or hot, place it on a pan stand. Remind pupils to pulse the blender to blend the food, rather than holding down the button continuously. This allows the pupils to monitor the consistency, stopping when it is just right.
When you've got the consistency you want, turn the blender off and pull it out of the soup. Then switch it off and unplug the blender at the socket.
The blender should be unplugged before pupils dismantle the blade. The blade section should be carefully cleaned. Check your school policy for risk assessment, first aid and dealing with accidents. Ensure that you know and follow the school policy on dealing with and reporting any accidents, such as cuts and burns. Top tips. Handheld blenders must be unplugged before being assembled or disassembled. Pupils should immerse the blender into the soup first, then pulse to blend. They will need to move the blender around the saucepan to ensure everything is blended. Remind pupils that the blade is very sharp.